Welcome to NovaBen Storytime.
This time we travel to the historic city of Istanbul.
Our traveler learns about the fine food, the tasty apple tea, and Turkish coffee. He also learns a lesson in silence. Please enjoy, like, and share.
I hadn't planned anything. I was just hungry. It was my second day in Istanbul, and I hadn't eaten since morning. I was staying in a cheap hotel tucked behind the Blue Mosque, just a narrow bed, a creaky fan, and a window that opened to a sliver of sky. Around sunset, I wandered toward the food vendors near the Sultan Ahmed tram stop, drawn by the scent of grilled meat and fresh bread. People were lining up, buying food, but oddly, no one was eating. Then I realized it was Ramadan. I figured they were just waiting for something, maybe a friend or the right spot to sit. I bought a few things and made my way across the street toward the lawn in front of the mosque. That morning it had been empty, peaceful, green. Now hundreds of people were gathering, sitting on blankets and prayer mats, food neatly arranged in front of them, untouched. So I sat too. I didn't ask questions, it just felt right. The kind of moment you step into without understanding it fully, like entering a room where everyone already knows the rules. So I waited, the plastic bag of food warm in my hands. Then the call to prayer began. It rang out from a nearby minaret, then another, and another, rippling like echoes down the stone corridors of centuries. A stillness came over the crowd, and then the birds. Not startled into flight, but lifted called, almost as if they too had waited for this sacred signal. They swirled above us in wide, fluid spirals, winged brushstrokes on a canvas of sky slowly fading from gold to blue. The moment was perfect. I ate in silence, a date and warm bread shared by someone I hadn't even spoken to. No words were needed. That was how Istanbul first opened itself to me. Not through spectacle, but stillness. I met them 2 days later. Jonah and Elise. They were carefree, tanned, full of stories and momentum. They spoke of nights in Cairo, riots in Athens, stolen kisses in Marseille. I was drawn in immediately, not just by their charisma, but by how easily people seemed to orbit them. I wanted some of that light. They invited me to tag along. "We're going to a mosque off the tourist trail," Jonah said. "Quiet place. The locals go there." "You in?" I nodded. Of course I was in. The courtyard was small and dappled with shade. The entrance had no grandeur, but the space breathed reverence. Shoes off, heads slightly bowed, we entered. Inside, the cool stone welcomed bare feet. There were no tour groups here, no lines. Just the occasional man in prayer and a hush that felt almost alive. Then Elise pulled out her phone. "Hey," she whispered, "this light is amazing. Do that thing again, the bit you said yesterday about domes and unity. I'll film." I hesitated, but not long. I stood beneath the patterned ceiling and raised my voice not loud, but enough to fill the chamber. "The dome," I said, "symbolizes heaven, infinity. And these patterns, they draw the eyes upward, toward." A rustle, a throat cleared. From the corner of the room, an old man looked at me. He did not speak. He just lifted one hand palm down, a gentle downward motion. Silence. He returned to his prayer. I felt embarrassed. We left quietly. Jonah and Elise laughed it off, already talking about lunch. I declined. They tried to call me back, but I kept walking. My voice still echoed in my own head, not what I had said, but why I had said it. I hadn't spoken to share reverence. I'd spoken to be remembered, to be admired. I have broken the silence, not the mosque's, but my own. A few days later, I returned to the Blue Mosque. The lawn was quieter now, the crowds thinner, but the call to prayer still came, slow and beautiful. And again, the birds rose, this time less dramatically, but still in that graceful, circling way. I sat on the grass and closed my eyes. No camera, no audience. Just breath and sky and the hush of wings. That night I learned the most sacred things are never loud.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this production from NovaBen Storytime of The Silence I Broke. In life, foolish curiosity and vanity often lead to misfortune. Fortunately for our traveler, it was only a minor rebuke. But It was enough to understand and respect the culture of others. Until next time, Salome,